So if you wanted to speak to me, honestly, earlier, when we were thinking of dating and making a long-term relationship out of this, watch out, Bubba. Didn't you have any questions at the time?
I tend to wing my questions mostly.
That's some winging.
But I'm usually...
You don't want winging on a... That's... forget it.
I'm usually pretty good at winging it, but it depends on the...
you are? I think you wung that one.
Okay, what was the question?
Do your friends actually come over and go, hey, Alex, man, you are smooth with the wing in it. That was very Brooklyn of me, but I have no accent. Ooh, Alex, wing in it. You should get a tattoo.
It's not much of a question.
You should get a tattoo back here.
How am I going to
wing in it.
Are
you going to get the tattoo? Wing in it, right on the back of the neck, okay? Or get one across the face. Like
I don't believe in tattoos.
You don't believe in tattoos? They do. They do exist. I mean, they're not like fairies or anything like that, or, you know...
The concept of a tattoo is cool, but the actual execution and having it on your body for the rest of your life is not something that I think works.
I agree with you, but I find this vastly uninteresting. I would much rather talk about my work.
Have you actually had anybody ask you to do an illustration for a tattoo?
Oh, that's an interesting question, and timely. Yes.
And it was of... I guess I would assume milk and cheese, maybe? Is that too much of an assumption that the people would want a milk and cheese tattoo?
There actually are a number of milk and cheese tattoos out there. Unfortunately, they're on apes. I like that joke. I don't know why. I kind of like that one. I like the idea of apes, you know. And winging it.
They would have to
Alex with a heart winging it.
Before they would be
Oh, you're supposed to shave him first? Shit. I might have to make a phone call. You have a sense. Look, either that or my breath is so terrible that you can't. But you're laughing a little bit here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think I've ever designed a tattoo. I've been asked. But I try to ask people, like, take one of the drawings from the later books that are better. The early ones are really awful, and it's permanent. I did a strip about tattoos, and this is the last question I'm going to answer seriously, because I don't like it. It's weird.
Okay, well, a serious question. Have you seen the documentary People vs. George Lucas? Have you heard about that?
No, don't care. Not unless this is actually like a boxing match, and all the people get to hit him, right in the little neck waddle. You took a cute thing and ruined it, man.
That's why they interviewed some interesting people, and I was like thinking to myself, why didn't they get you?
Why didn't they get me? Because I'm obscure and.
They had some pretty obscure people on this.
Some pretty obscure people. Jude the Obscure was in there. Boom, wagga, 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 wagga. And George just went, I think somebody did something to me. I couldn't feel it through my fame and money.
Name Jar Jar Binks is the sound of his neck wobble.
Wobble, wagga, wagga. Really? I feel like making some licensing deals today. Who wants more tours? I don't know if George Lucas sounds like that, but... Did you ever go to the Lucasfilm Ranch? I always wanted to do an Eltingville strip, but apparently somebody's done something similar. But I always thought that if you went there, it'd be like a cowboy ranch, but there'd be Jawas on the horses, and there'd be little stormtroopers, you know, dum-ba-dee-da, dum-ba-dee-da. That's American for shit-kicker music.
Is Eltingville going to be completed? There's one more strip, right?
2. I'd like to do 2 more. I have 3 pages done. The last page was completed in 2003. What do you think's going to happen?
Are the characters aging? Is it going to be like them as older?
No. Well, the characters aren't aging. The strip's aging. My readers are aging or just opting out. One story is the last story. It shows how they broke up as a group, the final straw, and the other stories would take place 10 years later, the 4 of them running into each other at San Diego Comic-Con.
You reference pop culture so much in your work, but do you find that today's pop culture, you just can't get it? You can't find the funny in what's out there now in film and movies?
Actually, an interesting question, because that's why I think my career is in the shitter, because I don't pay any attention to it. I don't know who Justin Bieber is, except as a word on Twitter. I do not know what he looks like. I'm not saying I'm proud of this or making fun of it. I don't care. There's a lot of great stuff out there from the last 100 years of pop culture, and I'd much rather go through some old crime books or, horror movies or what have you than... I have no interest in what Hollywood's been putting out. I would like to see the Scott Pilgrim film, but I don't get excited by anything. It all looks like... The trailers don't they blow it all and it looks like crap.
I think they've done a good enough job of making fun of themselves lately that there's no need for somebody to poke fun at them.
Everything is so crass right now, and I know that sounds funny coming out of my stupid mouth, but it's just everything's too fucking cool. If I can't think of a better word at this moment, it's just everything's. It's not even a cynicism. It's just a hipness that's shellacked onto everything. I mean, you can't make a fucking hamburger in a chain fast food store without it being some sort of hip thing. You know, the ads are hip. I'm sick of everything. I don't have cable. I don't watch TV. I do watch some stuff on DVD when I get a chance to. I listen to old radio shows when I draw. I try to keep up on music and stuff. There's still, I mean, I know there's great stuff out there. I mean, I'm not blanket condemning at all. There's great. I keep up on comics because I love the medium. But I figure with films, I'll be dying in a hospital one day, and I could just watch that shit in the hospital one day. And what do I want to watch in the hospital?
Dan Close was at some panel yesterday, and he used an oft-quoted remark that the geeks have won in modern culture. But don't you think that? Do you think it's worse?
The geeks won years ago when TV Guide started putting four collector's covers on stuff years ago and selling people Star Wars covers. That's when you knew it was over.
But do you think that the sort of the viewpoint by some people that with the co-opting of geek culture that it's been ruined?
I don't think it's been co-opted. I think everybody's a fucking geek. Or not everybody, but a lot of people are. I mean, everybody's growing up on junk culture and junk food, and I like a lot of it. I make some of it. There's too much, too fast between the internet and between the way television is now. I'm so freaked out by it. It's just a lot of noise to signal. The geeks won years ago, and you know what? Geeks have always won. Bill Gates is a geek. You know what I'm saying? Eltingville is about the geeks have won. That geeks are not like these cute, nice. What's that TV show I've heard about?
What's the Big Bang Theory?
The Big Bang Theory, or Freaks and Geeks, or Square Pegs back in the 80s. Yes, there's a lot of geeks of that. That's the popular image of them. But working in this industry for 20 years, working in a comic store for 6 years, being a fan myself, there's a large contingent of fandom that are some of the nastiest, possessive, egotistical, self-absorbed bastards who, if given a modicum of power, will shit things up. And I think that's been proven in comics as fandom took it over in the 70s, and it's just progressed to be making comics for yourself in a self-indulgent manner, in my opinion, rather than in a artistic, this is what I feel is the best path for my work, but rather than wait till I show everybody the greatest Joker story that I've been dying to do since I'm 10. And I'm going to shove it down their throats whether they like it or not. And I'm going to shove every Green Lantern down their throat. And I'm going to, they're playing with toys at the company, which is fine, but it's not just, I don't know where I'm going with this, just that 75-year-old kids' characters raping each other and ripping each other's arms off is such a fucked up idea. It sounds like something from a comic, not something that is all the comics. I'm not a prude by any means, but to see Superboy ripping somebody's arms off in a bloody manner, I just think it's wrong. It just looks wrong. Create Planetary Authority, Watchmen, rip each other's fucking cocks and rip the pussies off. I don't give a shit. Rip the nipples off, chuck them in your mouth, chew them up fine, eat orphans. You know what I mean? Dig up Mother Teresa, piss on it, let Ivan Bernetti write them all. Leave the kids' characters alone, though. You know what I mean? Batman's a hat. Ever since they started that Dark Knight shit in the 70s, Batman's just been the silliest fucking character ever. Sillier than when he was Zebra Batman. Because now they have to bend over backwards to show why he's a badass. And why Arkham doesn't just euthanize every motherfucker that goes in there, okay? Why there isn't Zyklon B for the Joker. Zyklon B... No, there's a real reason why... No, fuck you. There's no reason. It's because you have to sell more comics. Batman, dead. Robin, dead. Catwoman, dead. Niedermeyer, dead. Dougie, dead. They should all be dead at this point, Kick-Ass, realistic superheroes, dead. That's what have been realistic. Falls off building, breaks neck, people laugh at him. Rats eat his fucking eyeballs. One issue. Suicide Squad, one issue. Right?
So that's I mean,
Why are you making me so goddamn mad?
because conversely,
you wanna talk about family?
you're here at TCAF, which is like, doesn't that give you a little bit of hope that there is artists and people who are out there?
Comics is fun. This is one of the greatest periods in comics ever, and I'm sure there's some good superhero books that are coming out, and I know there's people who really honestly do craft the stuff and care about it.